There is a kind of happiness that no one ever taught you to seek. It does not shine like gold or arrive wrapped in achievement. It is quiet, almost invisible, and yet, when you feel it, it fills everything. Lao Tzu called it the joy of being at one with the way of things. He said that when you stop fighting life, life itself begins to embrace you. Since childhood, you were probably told that happiness is something to earn, be successful, be admired, be loved, and only then will you be content. But look closely, and you will see that this belief carries its own shadow. The more you chase happiness, the further it seems to move away. It hides behind the next goal, the next purchase, the next relationship. The search never ends, because the seeker is always restless. Lao Tzu watched this human struggle thousands of years ago. He saw people rushing through life, working and competing, trying to shape the world according to their desires. And he whispered something simple that many found too soft to understand. He said, "Stop trying to control everything. Flow like water." Water has no plan, no intention to conquer, and yet it shapes the strongest stone. It does not resist the mountain. It finds a way around it. That is the secret Lao Tzu wanted us to see. True happiness is not born from mastery over life, but from harmony with it. It is not about winning the world, but about becoming part of its natural rhythm. Think of a river moving through a forest. Each drop of water belongs to something greater, and because it does not fight its course, it feels no burden. You too are part of something larger, but you forget it when you tighten your will and demand that the world obey you. Lao Tzu said that when you let go of what you are, you become what you might be. The hardest lesson is that happiness cannot be taken by force. You can command attention, wealth, even love, but not peace. Peace is the fragrance that rises when you stop burning for more. It comes when you release the need to define everything and allow life to be as it is. Modern life trains the mind to measure everything. We count hours, likes, money, and success. Yet in this counting, something sacred slips away. The present moment becomes a transaction, not an experience. Lao Tzu invited us to return to simplicity, to sit quietly and look at a leaf falling or a cloud drifting, and realize that joy lives in such small, unnoticed places. Have you ever felt that strange relief after giving up something you thought you needed? Perhaps you stopped arguing, or you let go of an expectation. For a moment, the mind loosened its grip, and suddenly the air felt lighter. That is the doorway Lao Tzu pointed to. Not the victory of getting what you want, but the peace of no longer needing it. He said that those who know contentment are rich. It sounds simple, but it is a revolution against everything society teaches, because contentment does not grow from abundance, it grows from awareness. You can stand in a palace and still be poor if you are full of craving. You can sit beneath a tree and feel royal if your heart is still. Imagine your life as a pond. When you constantly stir the water with desire, it becomes cloudy. You try to see your reflection, but only find confusion. Stop stirring, and slowly the mud sinks. The surface clears. You begin to see yourself again, not as the world defines you, but as a being quietly alive. Lao Tzu's words were not written for monks alone. They were meant for anyone caught in the storm of wanting. He did not tell you to abandon life, but to move through it differently, to act without attachment, to do your best and then release the result, like an archer who shoots his arrow and then no longer worries about where it lands. In this kind of living, happiness becomes natural. It does not depend on the approval of others or the success of your plans. It arises from alignment, from the feeling that you are walking with the flow of the world instead of against it. Sometimes, the simplest truths are the hardest to accept because they offer nothing to hold on to. They do not promise control or achievement. They only promise freedom. Lao Tzu knew that freedom feels frightening to those who define themselves by their goals. Yet he reminded us that the soft overcomes the hard, that gentleness is stronger than force. Think of how the wind shapes the desert. It never commands, it only moves. The dunes follow its rhythm without resistance, and the desert remains beautiful because of it. You are like that landscape, always changing, always shaped by invisible currents. To resist them is to break. To trust them is to dance. When you practice this trust, something quiet unfolds inside you. You begin to see beauty in imperfection, in endings, in loss. Because you understand that nothing in nature clings. The tree does not mourn the leaf that falls. It knows that new growth will come in time. Happiness is like that acceptance, gentle and unforced. So how do you live this way in a noisy world? You start by noticing. Notice the moments when you rush for no reason. Notice the tension in your body when things do not go your way. Notice how quickly your mind wants to fix or control. Then pause, breathe. Let that urge pass through you without obeying it. Lao Tzu said that to hold and fill a bowl to the brim is foolish. Stop in time. Know when enough is enough. In your daily life, this means learning to step back before your energy runs dry. Rest before you collapse. Speak less when silence would heal. Buy less when you already have enough. Each act of restraint creates space for quiet joy to enter. You might fear that such stillness will make you lazy or indifferent, but it does the opposite. When you are at peace, your actions become more precise, more meaningful. You no longer waste strength on things that do not matter. You begin to move like water, gentle but unstoppable. There is another secret in Lao Tzu's teaching. He said that the greatest wisdom appears foolish to the world. People may see your calm and think you lack ambition. They may not understand your contentment. But remember, the world often confuses motion with progress, stillness with failure. You will know the truth, because peace cannot be faked. As you walk through life, you will encounter moments that test this peace. Someone may hurt you, or plans may fall apart. Your first instinct will be to resist, to fight. Yet if you pause and look deeper, you may find that even pain carries its own wisdom. The river of life includes both calm waters and rapids. You cannot have one without the other. When Lao Tzu spoke of the Tao, he meant the totality of existence, both light and shadow. To be happy is not to escape suffering, but to stop dividing life into good and bad. When you accept both, suffering transforms into understanding. You begin to see that every challenge gently shapes your spirit, the way water smooths stone. This is why happiness cannot be taught by rules. It is not a reward. It is a recognition. It appears when you remember that you belong to the same mystery that moves the stars and tides. You are not separate from it, only asleep to it. To awaken is simple. Look around you as if for the first time. Feel the breath entering and leaving your body. Hear the distant sounds of life continuing beyond your worries. In these ordinary moments hides the extraordinary truth that you are alive right now, and that is enough. There is a line often attributed to Lao Tzu. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. This is not poetic exaggeration. It is a statement of perspective. When you stop measuring, everything expands. When you stop grasping, everything arrives. You may ask, how can one stay peaceful in a world that constantly demands more? The answer lies in rhythm. Nature rests and moves in cycles. Night follows day. Winter follows autumn. Even the heart contracts and releases. You too must learn to rest as naturally as you act. Without stillness, motion becomes chaos. Without pause, joy becomes noise. Find a simple ritual to return to this balance. Sit quietly each morning before the world awakens. Watch the light change. Feel the breath anchor you. These moments do not need purpose. They are the practice of being. And slowly, your mind learns that happiness is not something to search for, but something to allow. When you live like this, you begin to see others differently. Their anger no longer provokes you. Their ambition no longer threatens you. You understand that everyone is walking their own path to the same still center. Compassion grows naturally because judgment fades. And in compassion lies another layer of happiness, one that connects you to every living thing. Lao Tzu often used the image of the valley. The valley receives all waters and therefore remains full. To be happy is to be like the valley, low and open, welcoming whatever flows in. Pride builds walls, humility builds space, and happiness is spacious by nature. As you listen to these words, notice the silence between them. That silence is not empty. It holds meaning. In the same way, your life's pauses are not wasted time. They are where the soul breathes, where gratitude is born. True happiness is not the spark of excitement that fades with time. It is the steady flame that warms even the coldest days. It grows from presence, from trust, from letting go of the endless chase for more. So if you are tired of searching, try stopping. Sit with what is here. Feel the weight of your body, the rhythm of your breath, the hum of existence around you. This is not a small thing. This is life itself, meeting you quietly. Remember that you do not need to perfect yourself to be at peace. Even your flaws belong. The Tao flows through the broken and the whole alike. The cracks in your story let the light in. Perhaps happiness was never lost. Perhaps it was only hidden beneath the noise of wanting. When you finally listen beyond that noise, you find that life has been whispering all along. Be still. Be here. You already have everything. And if these words resonate with you, stay for more reflections like this, not to be taught, but to remember together what it means to be quietly human.